Let me ask you something strange. What if the thing sitting in your driveway right now, the thing you worked overtime for, the thing you polished on a Sunday morning, the thing you feel genuinely proud of, what if that thing is the exact reason you'll never build real wealth? Not your salary, not the economy, not bad luck. Your car. Now, before you click off, hear me out, because this isn't one of those videos that tells you to sell your car and ride a bicycle to work. This is about something much deeper than that. It's about a psychological trap that car companies, banks, and dealerships have spent billions of dollars perfecting, and once you see it, you genuinely cannot unsee it. Most people will spend somewhere between 300,000 and 500,000 pounds on cars over their lifetime. Not houses, not investments, cars. Machines that lose value the moment you drive them away. And the terrifying part, most people think they're being smart about it. Here's how the story usually goes. You're in your mid-20s, you've got a job, you're earning decent money, and one day the car you've been driving starts feeling a little embarrassing. Maybe it's getting old, maybe your friends have upgraded, maybe you just feel like you've earned something nicer. So you go to a dealership, just to look, just to see what's out there. And the salesperson doesn't talk to you about the price of the car, they talk to you about the monthly payment. It's only 350 pounds a month, they say. That's less than 12 pounds a day. You spend more than that on coffee. And suddenly, a 25,000-pound car feels completely affordable. This is the first trick, and it works on almost everyone. Because our brains aren't wired to think in lump sums. We think in small, digestible chunks. 350 pounds a month sounds manageable. 25,000 pounds sounds terrifying. Same money, completely different psychological response. So you sign the finance agreement, you drive home in a shiny new car, and you feel good, really good, for a while. But here's the question nobody asks in that dealership. Not the salesperson, not the finance manager, and unfortunately, not you. What is this car actually costing me? Let's break this down simply, because the numbers tell a story that most people never actually sit down to read. Say you buy a car for 25,000 pounds on finance. You put down a small deposit, you're paying 350 pounds a month, and the loan runs for 5 years. Sounds reasonable, right? But when you add up those payments over 5 years, you've paid back around 21,000 pounds in monthly installments alone. Add your deposit, add the interest, you've spent somewhere around 26,000 to 28,000 pounds total. Now here's where it gets really interesting. That car, after 5 years, is worth maybe 8,000 pounds. Maybe. Cars typically lose around 60% of their value in the first 5 years. Some lose more. So you spent 27,000 pounds on something that's now worth 8,000 pounds. The gap between what you paid and what it's worth is called depreciation, and it's essentially money that has completely vanished. But we're not even done yet. Because the price of the car and the finance repayments are just the beginning. There's insurance, and it's not cheap when you're younger or when the car is newer. There's road tax, there's fuel, there's servicing, tires, MOTs, parking, unexpected repairs. When you add all of this up honestly, a 350-pound-a-month car payment often becomes a 600-pound to 700-pound-a-month car in real terms. That's 7,000 to 8,000 pounds a year on a depreciating asset every single year. Now, here's the metaphor I want you to hold in your mind. Imagine you had a bucket. Every month, you pour money into that bucket, but the bucket has a hole in the bottom. Not a small hole, a massive one. And every month, most of the money you pour in just drains away and disappears. That's what owning a depreciating asset on finance actually is. You keep pouring in, it keeps draining out, and you're left holding an empty bucket, wondering why you never seem to get ahead. Here's where the psychology gets really fascinating, because this isn't just about cars. It's about how we confuse things that feel like wealth with things that actually build wealth. There's a term in psychology called signaling. It means using visible things, clothes, cars, watches, holidays, to signal to other people that we're doing well, that we've made it, that we're successful. And the cruel irony is this. The people who most aggressively signal wealth are often the people with the least of it.
because genuinely wealthy people understand something that takes most people years to figure out.
Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money out. Your car takes money out every single month. Fuel, insurance, finance payments, depreciation. It is, by definition, a liability. And yet, we treat it like a status symbol, like proof that we've done something right. There's a book called The Millionaire Next Door, and one of the most surprising findings in it is this. The people who have quietly built real, lasting wealth are often driving ordinary cars. Not flashy ones, not new ones, not ones that cost them $700 a month to keep on the road. Just reliable, sensible cars that don't drain their resources month after month. Meanwhile, the people who look wealthy, the ones with the new BMW on the driveway, the private plate, the full leather interior, are often the most financially fragile. One redundancy away from disaster, one unexpected bill from missing a payment. We've been trained by advertising, by culture, by social media to associate a nice car with success, and that association is costing us an enormous amount of money. Here's another psychological piece to this. It's called hedonic adaptation. It basically means this. When you get something new, it makes you happy for a while, but then it becomes normal. The new car smell fades. The excitement of driving it disappears. What felt like a luxury 3 months ago now just feels like your car. And then, slowly, you start noticing other cars, nicer ones, newer ones, and the cycle begins again. The industry knows this. The finance industry knows this. They've built an entire business model around the predictable human tendency to always want something slightly better than what we currently have. So what do you actually do with this information? Because I'm not here to make you feel bad about your car. I'm here to show you what that money could be doing instead. Let's take that $700 a month figure. $700 that's currently going towards a depreciating asset. What happens if you redirect even half of that, $350 a month, into something that grows in value instead of shrinks? If you invested $350 a month consistently, and it grew at an average return of 8% per year, which is roughly what a broad index fund has historically returned over the long term, after 20 years, you'd have somewhere in a region of $200,000 from $350 a month. That's the money that's currently draining out of the bottom of the bucket. Now, what's the practical move here? Because life is real, and you do need a car. The first thing is to honestly calculate your total car cost, not just your monthly payment, everything. Insurance, fuel, tax, maintenance. Write it down. See the real number. Most people have never done this, and it's genuinely shocking when you do. The second thing is to ask yourself what you actually need from a car versus what you want from a car. Those are two very different questions, and the gap between the answers is often where a huge amount of money silently disappears. The third thing is to think about the timeline. If you're in your 20s or 30s, the financial decisions you make right now matter more than at almost any other point in your life because of compound growth, because time is the ingredient that turns small, consistent investments into genuinely life-changing money. A car that costs you $600 a month today, at 28 years old, doesn't just cost you $600 a month, it costs you everything that money could have grown into over the next 20, 30, 40 years. The real cost of that car isn't what you pay at the dealership, it's the wealth you never build, because the money was always going somewhere else. There's a concept sometimes called opportunity cost. It simply means this. Every time you spend money on one thing, you are choosing not to spend it on something else. And that invisible choice, made month after month, year after year, is what separates people who build wealth from people who always feel like they can't quite get ahead despite earning decent money. Here's the thought I want to leave you with. Nobody looks back at their life and wishes they'd driven a more expensive car in their 30s, but a lot of people look back and wish they'd understood money a little earlier, wish they'd started investing sooner, wish someone had explained in plain language that the shiny things that feel like success are often the exact things quietly preventing it. The car in your driveway might look like freedom,
The open road, going wherever you want, on your terms. But if it's costing you $700 a month to keep it there, if it's consuming the money that could be building a life where you actually have options, where you're not dependent on every single paycheck, where you could stop working tomorrow if you needed to, then it isn't giving you freedom at all. It's taking it. The moment you realize your car is owning you is the moment everything starts to shift. Because once you see the real cost, not just the monthly payment, but the compound cost, the opportunity cost, the years of wealth you're quietly trading away, you start making different decisions. Calmer ones, smarter ones, ones that actually move you forward. And that's what this channel is about. Not restriction, not living like a monk, just seeing money clearly so you can decide what it's actually worth to you. If this made you think about your own finances differently, subscribe, because every week we break down the money ideas that nobody explains simply, and everything changes when you finally understand how it actually works.